What is up, everybody? I don't like this light here. Let me see if it's better if I turn it off. I don't know if that's better. Let me know in the chat if it's better with the light on or the light off. Yeah, I think this works. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hops with Pop. Yeah, off I think is better. What's everybody drinking? Yeah, we do need a theme song. I got to up the production level of this thing because it's literally just me sitting in front of my computer firing off takes. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If we keep getting people watching this, then maybe I'll have some funds to invest in production. But for now, it's just me sitting here like a doofus, drinking Bud Light, firing off takes, All right. I'm going to get this tweeted out, and then we'll just do questions. Since we're a day after, we'll just get right into questions, and we'll get in and out here, and we'll go watch the ball game that's on right now. Let me tweet this out. All right. Y'all know how this works. What are we drinking? We're a day late because it was Monday Night Football, and I wasn't about to go live at 2:30 a.m. Even though you guys probably would have all been here anyway. I probably would have the same number of viewers at 2:30 a.m. as I do right now, but I was tired, and I felt like it was better just to do it today so everyone could join us. I know a lot of the East Coast folks were happy that we were doing something at a little more of a reasonable time. What are we drinking? We got a sour ghost. Ghost, is that how you pronounce it? Coca-Cola, Belgian Moon, PBR. Nathan Truth. Shout out to Nathan Truth drinking a PBR. Sometimes you just got to go with the classics, people. Nothing wrong with the classics. Shane Altman is driving home from work. Shane, drive safely. Make sure to focus on the road, and hopefully the soothing sound of my voice gets you home safely. Goza. There you go. Coors Banquet, grapefruit bubbly, a soy latte. Somebody's got some work to do if you're drinking coffee. I already had 9 cups of coffee today. My final thoughts are filed, by the way. So hopefully those will be up tonight, if not tomorrow morning. All right. The Chargers. Let's get going. We got enough people in here. The Chargers host the Raiders on Monday Night Football. They win 28-14. Really a complete performance all around. The offense goes effectively 4 for 4 in the red zone. I know I got an unstable connection. Can everyone still hear me? We need to bring the positive vibes back. The Wi-Fi's angry at us because it just went unstable. Can everyone hear me? All right, we're good. Good now. Great. All right, so where was I? Justin Herbert. Thought he played his outstanding game. I know the cumulative stats weren't there. 222 yards, third lowest passing output of his career, 5.84 yards per attempt, tied for the third lowest in that category in his career. But I thought that the way he handled the Raiders' pressure was really impressive. He was pressured on 29.6% of his dropbacks, according to Pro Football Focus. Only gave up 2 sacks and did not turn the ball over despite being under a lot of pressure. And that's a testament to him getting the ball out quickly, having a really good understanding of the game plan of the offense and of what the defense is trying to do to him. 2.32 average time to throw, which was 5th lowest in the NFL in week 4. So he was getting the ball out quickly. He was making decisions when he was dead to rights in the backfield. He was protecting the football. And that's really what it came down to. And then his execution in the red zone. Avoiding those turnovers was crucial. Defensively, just another remarkable, terrific game plan from Brandon Staley, executed pretty much to perfection by this defense. like basically outside of the Henry Ruggs deep 51-yard completion in the fourth quarter. That was really the only explosive passing play they gave up. And just as importantly, they stopped the run as well as they have all season. Got to give credit to Linval Joseph, to Jerry Tillery, to Christian Covington, Kaiser White, and Drew Tranquill played at a really high level against the run. Drew Tranquill added some juice in the pass rush. The Chargers had 22 pressures, mixed up their blitzes. Joey Bosa had another great game with 7 pressures. Drew Tranquill had 3 pressures. Linval Joseph had 3 pressures. So just another phenomenal defensive game. 28-14. The Raiders make a big push in the second half. It's 21-14. Once again, for the second straight week, the offense comes through with an absolutely monumental touchdown drive, shows the resiliency of this team, shows the resiliency of Justin Herbert in this offense. The run blocking got going there really for the whole game. But in the fourth quarter, they were able to run the ball 35 yards on 6 carries on that final touchdown drive. They punch it in on an Austin Eckler 11-yard touchdown. Eckler sets a career high with 117 rush yards, also has a receiving touchdown. He played a great game. The left side of the offensive line was just dominant in the run game. I mean, Rashawn Slater, Matt Filer, Corey Linsley, all were just moving people in the run game. Now, Filer was a little inconsistent in pass protection. He gave up a sack, also missed an assignment that led to a sack. Rashawn Slater had a missed assignment on the left edge that gave Yannick Ngakoue a clear shot on Herbert. But like we're talking about, Herbert got the ball quickly, was able to find Jared Cook in the flat, despite taking a big shot to his blind side, and they ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive. If he gets sacked and takes a 10-yard loss there, who knows? Maybe they don't score a touchdown on that drive. So those are some initial thoughts. Let's get some questions. We're going to go pretty short today, maybe 20, 25 minutes, because we all got a ball game to watch. So fire off those questions. Let's get to it. So Alan brings up a really good point here. He says, on the 4th and 2 throw to Cook over Perryman, it was an awesome play, but Herbert missed a wide open Mike Williams in the crossing route. Should he have seen that? So basically what happened on that play is they had trips left. Guyton was on the Keenan Allen was on the outside. Guyton was in the middle, and then Cook was in the slot, and then they had Mike Williams isolated on the backside. They've been doing that a lot. That's sort of the crux of the offense is a trip set with Mike Williams isolated in that X receiver spot. And so at that point in time, because it was 4th and 2, Staley felt like they were probably going to get a man coverage there from Gus Bradley, who plays a lot of zone, but they figured that they were going to try and prevent the ball, deny the ball in that situation. So they thought they would come out with zone alignment, show zone, and then play man out of it. So the way that you diagnose that pre-snap is you send somebody in motion. If you send somebody in motion and a player runs with them, that tells Justin Herbert that it's man. So they send Allen on a short motion from the outside of Guyton to the inside of Guyton. 21, Amik Robertson moves with Allen. Herbert to I think I cut out again. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Sorry, guys. We need to send more positive vibes. Somebody tell me where was I? Because I was talking about Cook matched up one-on-one with Denzel Perryman. Did you guys hear that part? Let me know in the chat just so I can pick up exactly where I left off. Let me know. Where was I? Okay, Keenan going in motion. Right. So they send Keenan in a short motion from the outside left to inside of Guyton. Amik Robertson, the corner who's covering Keenan, moves with Keenan. That tells Herbert that it's man coverage, right? So at that point in time, they know they have man. And so they see Cook, and who's across from Cook? Linebacker Denzel Perryman, who's 5'11". Jared Cook is 6'5". That's a great matchup. And that's a lot of what this offense is predicated on is finding those matchups and then just spamming Denzel Perryman. They know that he's running a wheel route, and they know that they have the perfect matchup. So Herbert takes a shotgun snap. Allen and Guyton run inside routes. Cook I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry about the connection. Let me see if I can do something here to help out the connection. Okay. So they know they have man, Denzel Perry across from Cook. Allen and Guyton run inside routes. Cook runs the wheel route off that, effectively what is a pick, a rub route. And that's a matchup you take every single time. Now, what Staley said after the game is, if that route didn't express itself the way that it did, then they had a good backup plan. And that was Mike Williams coming on the shallow cross from the backside. So basically the read was, okay, we have this matchup. We are 99.99999% sure that they're in man. But if somehow they disguised the coverage and it wasn't man and Cook wasn't open on that wheel route, Herbert was going to go one to Cook. And then if that wasn't there, he was going to go to his second read, which was Williams on the shallow cross. And so that's really how that shook out. So I don't think he missed Williams because Williams was the second read in the progression. It worked out. They got the matchup they want, and it basically unfolded exactly how they wanted it to. All right, keep those questions coming. What's your assessment of Joe Lombardi through 4 games? I think he's been great. I mean, like any offensive coordinator, there's some calls that he's gonna want to have back. I don't really understand the flea flickers. There was a weird zone read play in the red zone against the Cowboys. I think he would tell you that he'd want to have some of these illegal motions back. But I think overall, you're seeing the kind of progress you want to see from the offense. They're getting better every week. They've solved some of these red zone issues. You're seeing fantastic play from Justin Herbert. They've maximized Mike Williams. I know he didn't have a great game yesterday, but Justin missed him on what probably should have been like an 80-yard touchdown. So that's not really on Mike Williams. He wasn't as involved, but the fact that they've gotten as much as they've gotten out of Mike Williams, I think falls on Joe Lombardi and his vision. Staley's obviously also included in there. They've gotten the run game going. You're seeing some cohesion from this offensive line. So I give Joe Lombardi high grades so far this season. I mean, no offensive coordinator is going to be perfect, but I feel like he's done a really, really, really nice job so far. Someone asked about the crowd. Felt like there was a lot of Chargers fans there too. Plenty of Chargers fans there. I mean, it was obviously a pro Raiders crowd, but plenty of Chargers fans. It's probably about a 70-30 split. Do you think Drew will take Kenneth Murray's spot since he's been balling? Yes, that was already happening in the Chiefs game. I thought it was going to happen in this game, continue into this game, even if Kenneth Murray didn't get injured. Now with Drew playing the way that he's playing, I don't know how you take Drew off the field and put Kenneth in there even when he's back. And he's expected to be back after the bye week, which would be for week 8. Seeing the, you're not. Sorry, guys. Let me know if you can still hear me. I got a connection unstable. I'll get this fixed for next week. Still good? Let me know if you can hear me. All right, cool. So we were talking about explosive passes. You're not seeing the 65-yard bombs, right, that, Herbert was throwing last year, but that's partially scheme, partially personnel. But the one thing that I think is being overlooked here is that the Chargers are still a very explosive passing attack, right? 26 explosive passing plays this season. That's tied for 5th in the NFL. Those are qualified as passes of 16 yards or more. So I don't know what more you guys want. They are throwing the ball down the field. They are. They're pushing it down the field. It's a big part of the offense. Now, they made a conscious decision here when they let Tyron Johnson go that they were going to go with KJ Hill because of special teams, right? And so they don't have a ton of speed. They prioritize smart receivers. That's what they wanted. And they don't have as much speed as they used to. They have Jalen Guyton, who's a 4.35 guy, but outside of him, they got Josh Palmer, not particularly fast, Keenan Allen, not particularly fast, Mike Williams, not particularly fast, and KJ Hill, not particularly fast. Wow. Wow. The Cowboys just released Jalen Smith. What? Whoa. That is interesting. I didn't think he played that poorly against the Chargers. That is really surprising. Something else must have been going on there. We'll see. Yeah, so know you guys want the 65-yard bombs to Tyron Johnson. I know that's what you're in your brain, what you think about when you think of, okay, this is what an explosive passing offense looks like. But there are multiple ways to get there. And a lot of that depends on your personnel. With the personnel the Chargers have, they are putting together a very explosive passing offense. They are producing like an explosive passing offense. And think about it in this last game, right? Mike Williams beat Arnett off the line, and that's probably a 70-yard touchdown if Herbert can put it on him. Keenan Allen ran a deep over in the second half and dropped the ball. That would have been a 40-plus yard game. So they're pushing it down the field. I know it doesn't look the same as last year. It's not the same play action shot plays with Tyron Johnson beating the D, but they are explosive. Trust me, they are explosive. The numbers back that up. All right, keep those questions coming. Do we have a timeline of when Bulaga will come back? No timeline yet on Bulaga. Check back in this week. We'll see. Kind of a weird thing last week where Staley said that he had a procedure. And then I asked him, like, a procedure? Do you mean surgery? And then he kind of like non answered it. And sounds like it wasn't surgery, but he didn't say no in the press conference. So maybe it was an injection. I don't really want to speculate on the injury stuff with him, but we'll see. Storm Norton really hasn't been a major issue. Obviously, you'd prefer Bulaga in there, but they're doing enough to help him, and it's not the same type of disaster as it was week after week with Trey Pipkins last year. Any insight on if the fake punt was a coach call or a look call from the players? Was that Darius Swinton jumping on the sideline? Yes, that was Darius Swinton jumping on the sideline. It was, we've talked about these advantage looks that they have incorporated into the offense. They also have those on special teams. And so they went out there and they have this advantage look built into the scheme where if Ty Long sees Tevon Campbell uncovered at gunner, then they can audible to a pass. That's what happened here. Tevon Campbell was uncovered. Ty actually threw a great ball. Hunter Renfrow just made a ridiculous play. I mean, he was back at punt returner. And if you can see the all 22 on the TV broadcast. Sorry, we got a connection unstable again. So I think I'm back. Renfrow just made a great play. He read it, sensed something was up, sprinted up from his spot at punt returner, and just delivered a huge hit on Tevon Campbell there. So sometimes you make a great call. Sometimes the fake call is the right call in the situation. They had the look they were going for, and sometimes you just got to tip your cap. Like, hell of a play from Hunter Renfrow. But yeah, that was an advantage look type thing where they could, either punt it or read it based on, what they were showing, what the Raiders were showing them. Someone asked, is it obvious now that Josh Palmer and Trey McKitty were bad picks? No, it is not obvious. You can't judge rookies this early. I still think Josh Palmer is going to be a good player. You guys know this well that I would have gone with an offensive lineman there over Josh Palmer, but I don't think the player is bad. We don't know yet. All right. Pooch punt was awesome. Awesome job by Tristan Vizcaino there. Trey Pipkins, Trey Pipkins is playing 5 special team snaps now. Yeah, he's not even a factor. They go with a lot of jumbo packages, but they trust Michael Schofield more, the guy they signed off the street, than Trey Pipkins, their 3rd round pick, and that should really tell you everything you need to know. Any thoughts on Christian Covington? Yeah, he's a nice piece. played really well in this game, particularly against the run. He had that sack, the huge third down sack on the stunt. I just think this defensive line obviously is a much better unit when Justin Jones is healthy. Allows Covington to play more of a rotational role, take some of the pressure off of Jerry Tillery. But that was a really nice signing. He's given them some nice depth on the defensive line. Third down challenge call was incredible. Yes, it's a great call. Forrest Merrill. Yeah, listen, guys. Forrest Merrill he's a great run defender, but he's a little bit one-dimensional. It's going to make it tough for him to get on the field because you really can only play him on definite rushing downs. He's not going to give you much juice as a pass rusher, and that's why these other guys are getting more time than him. Is just because they can give more in terms of the pass rush, and they're not that much of a drop-off in terms of the run defending. So, but I like him as a player. He makes plays when he's out there. I think he played, 4 snaps, and he had to run stuff. So, yeah, big fan. Did Justin Jones have a setback? Yep, he had a setback Thursday. He tweaked the calf, and that's what led him to land on IR. So the hope is that he's going to be back after the bye week, according to Staley. How impressive is Staley's use of analytics, in your opinion? I don't know if impressive is the right word. It's what every NFL coach should be doing. You are putting yourself at a disadvantage if you refuse to acknowledge and incorporate the numbers and analytics into your decision-making process. I'm of the opinion that give me as much information as I can possibly get to make any decision I make in life, and that should apply to football coaches. So I don't think it's impressive per se. I think he deserves credit for doing it, for saying he was going to do it and then following through on that. But so. All right, guys. I told you it'd be a quick one today. So let's do 2 more questions. Thoughts on Joey's press conference last night? So Joey's always like that after games. But we haven't really gotten him after games the last 2 years because he doesn't really love to do the press conference stuff. So, but in 2019, I mean, he was the first guy I would pretty much go to in the locker room after every game just because he's so candid after the game. I don't think he said anything that was wrong, right? I mean, you go watch it. Carr was clearly rattled by the early pressure. The Christian Covington sack he alluded to, he's clearly cowering and curling into a ball before Covington gets there. The rest blew a blatant holding call, and he's going to get fined for it. But I mean, he's one of the best players in football, and not getting that call, the rest have to do better. So I don't think he was wrong there. And then, Joey's going to be candid after the game. That's just how he is. I'm definitely very appreciative of it because he sort of cuts through the BS and gives it to you straight. And I'm sure the fans appreciate it too, because that's what you want to hear from your players. You want your players to be genuine and be themselves, and Staley, advocates for them to do that. So, yeah, it was an all-time presser though. I was sitting there cracking up. I might have been egging him on a little bit with my laughter, but he was on one. It was great. Awesome stuff. Hey, someone shout out Great Notion. Great Notion up in Portland, Oregon. They make some delicious sours. Check them out. Great Notion wants to send me another hat. Please do that. One more question. So somebody come through with a good question. I know there's a good question out there. And then it's time to watch the ball game. That's it on the Bud Light. Someone asked me if Kenneth Murray could play edge. Probably not. I don't think he would be very productive out there. Take on Nwosu so far. I wrote about him in my last mailbag, so go check that out on The Athletic. Why am I drinking Bud Light? Because it's freaking delicious. Oh, what did I say? I tweeted that if anyone commented on the Bud Light, you'd get into timeout. So sorry, Jared Garcia. You're in timeout. Don't hate on Bud Light. Oh, man. Am I just going to have to start putting everyone in timeout? Someone else criticize Bud Light. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Brendan Edwards says the best beer is the one that's in your hands. And goddamn, put that on my tombstone. Wow. Trey Pipkins is better as a tackle than Bud Light is as a beer. I'm not going to put you in timeout because that's like a pretty good bit. All right, one more. Does anyone have a Chargers question? We'll do one more Chargers question, or we can keep talking about Bud Light. But I don't think that's why you guys are here. Bud Light brings positive vibes, says Brandon Sweeney. Shouts out to Brandon Sweeney because it does. It brings the vibes. Oh, we got a water greater than Bud Light. That bit's not good enough. You are in time out. Was yesterday Tillery's best game? Yes. Yes. And listen, I've been critical of him. Last week we had this conversation, and we'll end it here, right? Last week we had this conversation where I said it is okay, it is fair to be critical of him, but to say that he's a finished product at that point is not fair, and that there is a possibility that he would improve. Jerry Tillery stepped up in the run game and was great as a pass rusher, and I thought he had one of his better games as a pro yesterday. That was a big reason why the Chargers defense played well. All right. I'm thinking that I need to do these out in my living room because I haven't had any connection problems when I've been closer to the oh, hold on one sec. I'm gonna call here. Hello? Yep. Good. Can you give me 1 second? Yeah. Gotta go to the radio interview. Thanks everyone for joining. Make sure you subscribe to The Athletic. Bye.